Hey everybody, my name is Todd Arnett. I'm the lead pastor of High Desert Church and in Victorville, California. And this is actually the church where kind of everything began related to the Oikos movement as it relates to Pastor Tom Mercer. And I have the incredible privilege and the incredible challenge of following someone who has just done an amazing job leading God's church in the High Desert and really influentially all over the world for the last 38 years. And that's actually where I came in contact with this whole idea of what is Oikos and this way of being influential in a relational world. What does that mean? I had grown up in a church environment. I had served as a youth pastor in 2 churches before, but I came to HDC in the fall of 2002 and just learned very quickly this was important to this church, this idea of Oikos. It was not just something on the wall in the back, but this is something that they practiced and lived and really just was enmeshed in everything they did. And I just saw God begin to just put in my heart, Todd, try this, engage this. And as I did and began to pray, very specifically for people in my relational world, my Oikos in particular, a neighbor that was catty corner for me in our new neighborhood, I just began to see God at work. I began to see Him creating opportunities for conversations, and I began to see it be very real in my own life, and the level of excitement, the level of joy, the level of just, God, what could you do if more people began to take personally their mission of being involved in sharing this great news of the gospel with people in their lives? So to me, Oikos has been such a huge change, and I've become so endemic in who I am. When I left High Desert Church to go pastor another church for 5.5 years, I told them at the front end, I just didn't serve at an oikocentric church. I bleed this stuff. And even the search team for that church ended up getting a copy of Pastor Tom's book, 8 to 15, to even understand clearly what is it that was so important and just so integral to who I was. And I wanted them to make sure they understood what they were getting. And so this is really an important reality in my leadership. I love calling God's people into action that's actionable, meaning they can do this. If they begin to take note of who's in their world and begin to pray for those people, begin to invest in their lives in meaningful ways, begin to be influential, invite them into not only their family and events, but those at church and getting to know God's people. I've just seen God use this approach time after time after time, and in one church and another and another. So it's not a High Desert Church thing. It is a thing that God uses to grow His kingdom and to grow a local church. So I just want to tell you, if you're at all interested, please take a next step. Find your way to the oikosmovement.com. Find your way to another person that has engaged this as a lifestyle, engaged this as a leadership format for their church, and see that what's really awaiting you and awaiting a next step for your church, unifying around the thing that Jesus said mattered most, the Great Commission, as we move forward and see His church advance. Take a next step. I'm excited to see what God's going to do in and through your church as a result.